and Dr. R.S. Prodha Sahab, Dr. H.P. Singh, Dr. S.K. Malhotra, Dr. R.R. Burman, my colleagues from Alliance, Dr. Chris, Dr. Rana, Dr. Gina, all the esteemed members of CFI Advisory Board and Scientific Committee, all the invited guests here, all the invited participants who come all the way across the country here to make a presentation of the CFI fund proposals tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and very welcome. I am really thankful to Chris that he already briefed, very good briefing about the CFI here, and he left nothing for me. But before I give a formal presentation about CFI mandate with some graphics and some presentation here, I would like to share a video with this morning our donor Umesh Maheshwari has shared here. What is his vision about CFI? How he thought about to create this Fruitful India Fund here from his childhood to at this stage here. A very good idea he generated, and we all should learn a message and lesson from his video. So maybe can I have his video first, please, Gaurav? And then I can talk about my presentation. Message from our donor, funder, Umesh Maheshwari, with a very brief but very simple background about how CFI has generated here. Before I start my formal presentation, I would like to join my colleague Chris to formally welcome our guest on the dais here, especially our chief guest of today's function, Padam Bhushan, Shri Dr. R.S. Prodha Sahab. Thank you very much for joining us, sir, here. I know you are very busy these days also, but we really appreciate that you find some time to join us here, and we look forward to get a sense of advice from all of us how we can move forward for the CFI mission here. It's my pleasure also to welcome Dr. H.P. Singh, who is the founder chairman of CHAYA and also the former Deputy Director General of Horticulture in ICAR, with a very long experience in horticulture promotion here, starting from the grassroots level to the very high up level here. And instead today, sir, you are very busy in advising the horticulture community and taking this forward at the national level, and not only national but also international level here. My special thanks to Dr. S.K. Malhotra, the Vice Chancellor of Maharana Pratap Horticulture University based in Karnal here, and he's also one of the pillar of horticulture research in India, starting as a horticulture commissioner and then agriculture commissioner, and now he is leading one of the important university in horticulture in Haryana here. So welcome you, sir, here. My pleasure in inviting Dr. Burman here and repeating the main important section of ICR, the agriculture action services, which are very important. And we look forward with a very good partnership and close relationship, because when we want to go to implementation of the CFI program here, all our research partners will look forward to the better advice, better coordination, better support, better help in terms of capacity building, promoting the technology which we are developing in the program here. And thank you very much for joining us here, and then we'll look forward for your partnership in coming future here. Of course, I don't want to welcome my colleague Chris because he's part of the CFI. He's a leader of CFI, Dr. Rana, and all of you. But a very great welcome to our members of the CFI Advisory Board here and our scientific committee member. They have done a really great job to move forward the CFI mandate here. We are meeting very frequently, and they were all involved in giving us a guideline, kind of advice to set up the theme of the CFI implementation through our committee meetings here and also in reviewing all the proposals here. I'm happy to share that for this first year call, we received over 187 proposals here all over the country, including all research organizations, NGOs, grassroots workers here, and diverse kind of projects here. But the committee has really helped us in really crystallizing the proposal here and identifying some 33 proposals. So thank you very much, all the members here sitting here, and we welcome you also here. Of course, a very warm welcome to all these partners who have applied for the CFI grant here, and they have come here, and we look forward for their input tomorrow for your presentation here. So maybe can I have my slide, please, Gaurav? I think my life become very simple here, because after listening to Chris and also to Umesh here, I will not really go into more detail about the background of the CFI here, but as already mentioned that this CFI is a partnership between the Fruitful India Fund and Bioversity Alliance of Bioversity International CIAT here. when we are designing this kind of logo for CFI, it's very interesting because the CFI is basically focusing on promoting fruit cultivation widely, as we mentioned, very widely promotion of fruit species. So that's why we think about giving the name as Fruitful India. So fruits are available. But when we translate it name into Hindi, fruitful means Safal. So we put Safal Bharat. So it's kind of very good message conveying here that through the promotion of fruit trees for the low income families here, we are making India a kind of a Safal Bharat here. So this is how we came up with the CFI logo, and the mandate and mission was captured in the very simple format in the CFI logo here. As already mentioned by Umesh that and Chris also, that we initiated this program sometime early 2020 here. Yeah. But first 3 years is basically a kind of a pilot project, giving us an opportunity ourselves to learn about the necessity of the need of the promoting fruit cultivation at the grassroots level for the low income families here and different kind of a landscape here. So we have a small pilot project in 3 different states of India here, starting from in Karnataka. Then we took in some program in Bundelkhand region of Uttar Pradesh here, and also in Rajasthan also here. And we have learned a lot of lesson to refine our mission and mandate to start the second phase of CFI, which is more well-organized program also here. So this is the kind of a background here. I will just give you a brief summary of what we achieved in the first phase of CFI here. But more coming to our vision for now here. No need that, as we all know, that malnutrition is a severe problem in our country. About 36% of women and 48% children, especially 43% of these are highly undernourished here. So that is a severe problem. India has achieved a kind of a food sufficiency for food security, but we are still lacking behind for nutritional security. So there's a need. I mean, government have a lot of program already in place here, targeting how to improve the malnutrition, and we are progressing well here. But there are still some gaps here, especially for the target communities we are talking about here. The second important thing is the losing the agrobiodiversity of traditional food species. We achieved very good. I mean, horticulture sector is going very well. High production of commercial fruits, orchards are there here. But what happening that we are losing our traditional food diversity in our diet here. And because of that, the plants are being now not being conserved here. A good example here that in our childhood, we were eating a lot of very traditional food like falsa and then pilu and then maybe some kind of a very shatut, all those things here. But they are nowhere seen in the market now here. So new generation don't know about those fruits here. And that's why since they are not being consumed, they are not being cultivated here. And they are very nutritious, very hardy fruit species here. They can grow very well under very stress condition here, require very low input for their growing here. So that is a kind of a mission of CFI is to promote these kind of traditional fruit diversity through consumption, and then through consumption we conserve this fruit diversity on farm here with the communities here. So bringing back those diversity back to farm is one of the second mission of the CFI India. Of course, climate change, there's no need to talk about. Growing more trees always lead to climate mitigation here. And now, see, one of the things is that the government have a lot of focus on promoting growing more trees. Every year, forest department supply thousands of millions of free seedling for planting. But there's no integration. Why don't they supply the fruit trees into their mission here? So if they supply these free sapling of fruit trees and growing in their home garden, kitchen garden, roadside, especially western development here. So that purpose is same, growing more trees, climate adaptation here. But if we have something to eat also from the tree here, that is more important here. So this is the 3 major focus which already been talked about, and this is the second. So we believe that promoting more fruit trees here of the nutrition, traditional diversity, we can achieve these 3 targets as the CFI mission. So in a very simple way, we coined our vision here that to improve availability of nutritious fruit to low income families. So our target is low income families and promoting nutritious fruit, not other kind of every fruit here. But at the same time, providing the nutritious fruit which can be harvested by low communities around the year. So develop a kind of a system where a community can plant the fruit species which can give fruiting around the year. So they have something to eat around the year, not just because fruits have a kind of fixed fruiting season here, 2 months, 3 months, maybe here. But after they harvest banana or maybe mango, what is next year? So try to see, develop a kind of model, agroforestry based model here, where we can see which species are more suitable for a particular agroclimatic condition, and then bring those tree species and develop a kind of model where the communities can be engaged and grow those fruit species. And sharing mechanism is important. Processing of these fruit species, if there are excess harvest which are not being consumed by household, how they can process locally. So local market availability, local processing for their off-season consumption here, and the local mechanism for sharing among themselves. Somebody is growing guava, somebody is growing jamun, so how they can promote to exchange the fruit of different, because each fruit have different micronutrient composition here. So this is kind of our main theme here: low income families and nutrition fruit species here, and of course lead to improve local ecology and climatic condition here. But at the same time, as Donald mentioned here, that we want to build CFI as a reputable and long-lasting institution here. It's not just because he is already mentioned that this funding is given for long-term sustainability, because fruit is not just growing 1 or 2 season crop here, but they take long time, 3-4 years for fruiting here and to see their adaptability of those here. So initially, he is very kind of to commit initially for 8-year project here. But I said this is not 8 years, it will continue. If there is good progress here, the program will forever ending here. But you want to make it a more sustainable CFI as an institution hosted by Bioversity International CIAT. This is basically a summary of what we have already heard, that under this CFI here, we need to have innovation in fruit cultivation. As Umesh already mentioned, that India has very good infrastructure. ICAR institution, state university are doing a lot of good work here. So, but there are some gaps, as I already mentioned here. Some of the species are not being taken seriously to promote those things here. Maybe there is not proper research to see how the fruit cultivation can go to the grassroots level here. Maybe it may be implementation process here, extension activities here, or be some kind of local technology for irrigation, pitcher plant technology for irrigation, all those things here. So we don't want to compete with the ongoing program here. We will see where the gaps are there, where are the niches, where CFI can become a catalyst, interfere those kind of research here. And that kind of basically innovation will then lead to increased sustainable cultivation at the wider scale here. And that if we have more cultivation, increase access and affordability to low income family, and also leading to conservation of diversity. So this is the kind of a framework we have developed. And again, I put some point here. We also need to take uptake of research. What has already been done. So there is no need for duplication of efforts here. We pick up here what ICR and industry are doing here, or the research organization here. So take up those research already available, the technology for grafting purpose, the quality planting material, hardy planting material, all those things see. And then take those things here, technology or material, and then promote through our partners who are sitting here to promote those cultivation practices here is one thing here. Support gaps in conduct efforts here. We support research gaps also here, and then finally promote research for development funding support is there, and partnership with ongoing initiative. This is also very important because CFI is not a big kind of a funding agency here, but we look for partnership where government schemes like Mangarega scheme is there for fruit planting of the tree species here. Can we work with Mangarega scheme and use those resources to promote our mission here? That we give good planting material to them here, and then those are promoted here. So there are many, like we have national mission of natural farming here. So can we link our mission to there? We are just talking to Niti Aayog also here, and they are very happy to CFI mission to take forward here. And they told us here, why don't you work on our aspiration district and aspiration block? They have 112 district and 500 aspiration block here. And under this program of Niti Aayog, they are bringing convergence of different government schemes in one platform. So this small component, if we can go with our mission of CFI here and providing the technology, guidelines, capacity building of farmer family here, that will definitely help us a wider kind of a outcome of the CFI here. And if we develop some successful models, successful success stories, then Niti Aayog definitely like to take up those models and stories and then promote across their all different sites here. So this is the kind of partnership is very important for CFI here. So finally, just to summarize, we have three major objectives here: support cross-disciplinary research to fill gaps in underutilized state areas. So again, I mentioned that the area which are lacking by the government agency here, we support those here of tree-based fruit cultivation and consumption of enhancing availability and affordability of nutritious fruits for low-income families. Promote and dissemination CFI and other research lesson learned for improved cultivation and consumption of fruits here. This is the second. We have some funding available where we like to disseminate the success stories to the audience here. Maybe awareness for consumption, because awareness is very low fruit consumption. So we can have some program here. We are also planning to have some kind of a success kind of a videos on YouTube and what you call the LinkedIn page. So wider dissemination of information, knowledge, technology through the platform of our CFI matter. This is also here. And of course, we are trying to set up a multi-stakeholder platform, bringing most active at the one platform here so they can work all together in partnership. I'm not going to much detail about these are our action plan here. So I will not skip this one here because time is short here. And this is the overall, basically, I put it here, as Chris mentioned, we work with diversity of research partners and implementers here. Our research partners include ICR institution here, state universities here, private agencies here, international centers, CG centers are involved here, and other organizations or partners. But implementers are, again, research organization can become a researcher and implementer also here, extension agencies, KVK, and we also very much thankful to our partner from the Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education, and Dr. Geeta Doshi and Dr. Rekha Waria. They are here. They are part of our scientific committee because we want to bring the forestry component into our system here. When we talk about forest ranges also here. So one Vikas Kendra and KVK both can become partner here. District administration, Itako Panchayat, NGOC, all those things here. So not going into much detail about those things here. And finally, this is what we have our theory of change to achieve our targets here. So there's no need to explain this one also here. And this is, I just combined that we want to promote nutri gardens, backyard gardens, homestead food system here, provide fruit kits to low-income families, community-based fruit or orchard. Orchard we talk about, but it's a community-based orchard also here, not the commercial orchard also here. Self-help group strengthening is very important. Training the family, women to develop the nurseries of their, so then they can locally multiply and supply. That will reduce the cost of local planting material and availability will increase here. So this is very important, capacity building and creating self-help groups of women farmers here. I talk about the Indian food space also here. Mixed fruits in mixed cropping and agroforestry system is again important. We talk about this, what you call this, market linkages and the value addition products at the local level here, storage and then policy support. Once we have something outcome here, we can always make some recommendation to Niti Aayog or ICR or to Government of India, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Climate Change and all those things here. Then these are the outcome here and these are our recommendations. Can you take up those recommendations further for implementation also? Yes. Just briefly, 2 slides more here about the first phase here. We have done a lot of capacity building and awareness campaign here. We target a lot of about more than 100 schools, children here to educate them the importance because they are the take the message conveyed to their parents. What is the importance of nutritious food eating here? So we have a lot of program organized across the 3 states I talk about here. We have arranged a lot of diversity fair of food species to show because many children don't know the diversity of the traditional food also here. They were also exposed to the field condition, how to grow tree species also here. And we also supported some basic research. In the phase 1, 3 PhD students were supported working on very remote, not underutilized fruit like wood apple is important fruit in Karnataka. We also tried to see one student working on Karunda conservation in Rajasthan from the Jobner University also, and also Chironji. So these are the 3 different kind of fruit species we promoted for PhD research also here. And this is a summary. We target about more than 800-500 households in the first phase here. About 116 schools here. We provided more than 20,000 sapling free for distribution for planting. So they are growing it now. Of 20 species here, 9 research grant here, and we organized 43 awareness campaign in the rural areas, and also the 56 capacity building program. So this is a kind of summary of phase 1 of CFI here. For more information, I think you can always visit our website here. A lot of information is available on cfi.india.org. So I request all of you to please go and see more information about what we are doing, and it will continue upgraded here. We also have our platform on LinkedIn also here, where we trying to put all our outputs here, or meeting everything here. And finally, the last slide that this, what I want to mention is that our scientific committee discuss and decide what should be the agenda, because this is a kind of a continuous process of having the conference every year. So each year we discuss and talk and take advice from our advisory board and scientific committee what should be the focus for next year theme here. And based on that, we announce the research grant call here. And these are the first 6 kind of a theme areas where all of you have applied here. And we look forward for your contribution tomorrow, and see that I hope that you all have targeted your presentation and your proposal fitting to our CFI mission. So it will become easy for us to take a discussion. Yeah, I think with all this thing, I thank you very much for joining us today here, and look forward for a good interaction over the next 2 days of this meeting. Thank you very much. Yeah.